I've saved my changes as trappedblacks.ai, found inside the 11 printing folder. And in this exercise, we're going to really get down to it. We're going to begin our tour of one of the best printing features in the business. Illustrator's print dialog box is out of control and offers so many great, precise printing options. It really does take care of all of your printing needs. So what I'd like you to do is go up to the File menu and choose the print command, or press Control-P, Command-P on the Mac, and that brings up this ginormous print dialog box. As I say, it's designed to serve as a kind of one-stop shopping so that you don't have to resort to the printing feature built into your operating system, which is not nearly as powerful, I'm here to tell you. However, I want to let you know up front, if you do have some sort of problems that you're not able to resolve inside of this dialog box, as unlikely as that is, you can drop down here to the Setup button. And the Setup button allows you to access your OS level print feature. Now, as soon as you click on it, Illustrator is going to beg you to change your mind. Notice it says, to ensure that you can use the full print capabilities of Illustrator, please set all print options from the print dialog box. I've never seen a needier message in my life. And you might say, okay, I get it, return a print dialog box, or you might go ahead and click continue in order to see that OS level print feature, which, in the case of Windows, is beyond disappointing. This thing is designed by monkeys, I swear. Anyway, so I'm going to cancel out because that's not going to do me any good whatsoever. And breathe a sigh of relief as I demonstrate these awesome features that were designed by brilliant human beings. So for starters, we have this printer function right here. So if you have multiple printers that are networked to your computer, you can switch between them. And I have a couple of different printers I could select from here at lynda.com. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. Now, if you're using a PostScript printer, and I'm not, by the way, this HP LaserJet 2700 is a non-PostScript device, which is just fine. Illustrator supports PostScript and non-PostScript devices alike. But if you have a PostScript printer, then you need to specify a PostScript printer description, which is a PPD, and you can typically download the most recent version of that from your print vendor's support site. Dropping down here, we have the typical printing options. You can specify multiple copies if you like. You can specify a range. So right now, I'm going to print all 5 of my artboards. And notice, if you drop down here to the lower left corner of the dialog box, Illustrator is savvy enough to go ahead and associate one artboard with each piece of paper, so long as those artboards fit. And we'll discuss what you do with artwork that doesn't fit on the page in the next exercise. But for now, notice that I see a preview of my document, and I can switch between artboards using these little arrow icons. Notice you also see the size of the document, that is the current artboard, which is 400 by 600 points. If I switch to the 4th artboard, it grows because, of course, each artboard can be a different size. The paper size, though, is going to be fixed as described by the media options right here, which I'll come to in a moment. But first, I want you to notice that you can specify a page range if you so desire. So, for example, I could just print the first 3 pages of my document by entering 1-3. And then as soon as you press the Tab key, you'll see the information update down here in the lower left region of the dialog box. So I'm seeing in this case, this is the first of the 3 pages. This is the second. This is the third, and that's all she wrote because that's all I'm printing. You can also specify multiple non-adjacent pages. For example, I could enter 2,4-5 if I want to. And that would be code for artboard 2 as well as 4 and 5. Or I could go ahead and enter a comma between 4 and 5 as well. And then as soon as you press the Tab key, once again, the preview updates down here in the lower left region of the dialog box. Also notice that it's telling you that this is page 1 of 3, but then it goes ahead and tells you in parentheses, oh, by the way, this is artboard number 2, in case you're curious. And then when I advance to page 2 of 3, I'm told it's actually artboard 4, and so on. All right, I can specify the size of the paper that I want to use. In my case, I can see that it's 8.5 by 11. I just know that 612 by 792 translates to a letter size page. Right now, that information is defined by the print driver. So one would hope that I have a tray full of letter size paper loaded into the machine. If I wanted to override that, I could select a different paper size. By the way, note, those of you who are working in different countries, that each and every one of these artboards does fit on a standard A4 page. Just FYI. Anyway, I'm going to leave that set to define by driver. Notice there's also this auto rotate option, so that Illustrator is going to automatically rotate the media to fit the artboards. In my case, I have vertical artboards, so they fit just fine on vertical pieces of paper. However, I could override that if I want to. I could turn off auto rotate. And then I have access to not just two little man icons, that is upright and landscape, but I can also turn the artwork upside down if I want to, or set it on its left side instead of its right. So you have just an incredible level of control inside this dialog box. I'm going to set things back to auto rotate just to go ahead and print my pages upright, which is going to look best. In the next exercise, we'll drop down to these option settings, and I'll show you how to position and scale the artwork to fit the page.